Moving the chains, we changing the game, you know that we moving the chains with Chief. Just stay in your lane, so nothing the same, we steady beat. Moving the chains with Chief, go for the range, just doing my thing, you know that we moving the chains with Chief. We moving the chains with Chief.
Welcome back to yet another episode of Moving the Chains with Chief. I'm Chief, of course, and a champion has been crowned. Yes, congratulations to both of our Tower Lakes A and B champions. We're going to get into that. But I wanted to mention a special guest we have in the audience. We got Rosie in the house. She's always in the house, actually, but she just wanted to sit front row since we talk about championship week. Let's get into that. League A. We had Return of the DAC going against Fully Automatic, and it wasn't really close. We thought it could be. Because going into Monday, Return of the DAC was up 50, and he had Puka to go against, as well as Stafford, who always put up great numbers, but he threw 3 interceptions, and it didn't really look pretty. He didn't fully seal our league in having a auto-drafted champion, so thank God. Congratulations to Darron, his very first championship. So, Sino, thank you for allowing me to miss the playoffs, because if I would have beat you and made the playoffs, I'm pretty sure I would have played Duff in the finals, and he would have gotten his 4th. So, thank you. You know, you actually did something. And moving on to League B, we have a Cinderella story. So, congratulations to Joe in Miami Vice, who beat Mamba Mentality in the championship round, turning that orphan team from 2-5 to champions. He did exactly what he said. We got it on video. So, hey man, you're a man of your word, and unfortunately, you are not going to be able to advance up to League A, barring any situations that I will get into later. Hey, if you do it again, you're guaranteed a spot in League A. So we may see you next year. Let's see. Let's get into that Waffle Bowl. The Waffle Bowl, the Toilet Bowl, whatever you want to call it. We had a team of me, Al's team, going against Dirty Mike and the boys, Alex. It was 120 going into Monday night. 1 player left, Cal Pitts. You know he's liable to put up a goose egg, but he didn't. He put up 4, a miraculous 4, after putting up 60 a few weeks back, which is crazy. Imagine really needing him. Hey, we have a Waffle Bowl champion. So congratulations to Alex Henson, Dirty Mike, and the boys. You have to stay in Waffle House for 24 hours before August 1st. We will accept, I think, IHOP as well, for 24 hours. And the rules, we have them in the chat. So please, 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 Waffle House is preferred. But you'll be streaming here on Tower Lakes TV, right here on YouTube. So please strap in, do your thing. And if you don't, you will have to go to the B League. And Joe from Miami Vice will be promoted to the A League. So, yep, we have put that pressure on you. So, yeah. Well, we're getting into history in the making, or history made, by our historian, Duff. So, take it away. Oh.
What's up, guys? Commish coming to you now, filling in for Duff, the historian. In some late-breaking news, historian has actually gone missing. We do have reports that he was detained by ICE and deported off to the UK. His whereabouts still unknown. Have not heard from him for a long time, but we wait no longer. The show must go on. So, in his place, I will be doing history in the making, or as we like to call it at the end of the season, history made. Now, of course, much of our finale is going to be focusing, on those champions and playoff teams. So instead, in this segment, we're going to give a little love or hate to the bottom of our league, our season champions, if you will. Those teams that really didn't have a great year. Now, holding down the bottom of our league is the Henson household. We'll start with the older of the two, Mason in Gators Yacht. Finished our regular season at the bottom of those standings, and that can be traced back to his draft. Mason actually had the 13th worst draft of all time, which meant his roster wasn't very good from the start. This allowed his team to score in the bottom half of scoring 75% of the time, and earning him the blunder of trash trifecta, which means he had the worst team, he was worst all play, and had the lowest amount of points scored. So, any way you measure it, Mason had an objectively terrible year. But of course, the major heartbreak can be traced back to Alex, who finished the final season standings at the bottom after our consolation ladder that was played, and of course, he will be having to do the Waffle House Challenge. Now, on top of that, his true heartbreak can really be traced back to that Week 14 matchups right before getting into the playoffs. That matchup with Nico was a 50-50 shot, and unfortunately, he lost that game, which is why he ended up at the very, very bottom in the end. Now, luck didn't seem to favor Alex at all this season, because not only did he lose that final regular season matchup, he actually had the toughest strength of schedule all season long, and down the stretch actually had an absolute gauntlet. He had 5 of his final 7 matches actually be the toughest matchup to date, and those other 2 matchups were the second toughest matchups of the week. Unfortunately, that's just the way the schedule went. The football gods were truly unkind to you, Alex. Unfortunate circumstance. Hope you're feeling hungry. Now, on the flip side of Lady Luck, the Sam Darnold comps never seemed to escape Larry in beast mode, as he actually had the easiest strength of schedule on his way to securing the #1 seed throughout the regular season. In fact, Larry actually never faced a matchup stronger than 6th, which actually happened in the second week of the season. And after that, his next strongest matchup was never higher than 10th. 7 out of those last 12 actually were the easiest matchup of the week. However, much like Darnold's final season with the Vikings, Larry's team made a quick and embarrassing exit in the first round of the playoffs, failing to win a single playoff matchup. Seems like those fraud alert calls were in fact true. Now, the end of the season also allows us to take a look back at how the season actually started, again thanks to the draft statistics provided by League Legacy. Now, it may come as a surprise to some, but not for all, that the 2 teams in the championship actually had the 2 best drafts. Darron, of course, with the top draft, and Fully Automatic, or ESPN, with the #2 draft. Now, looking back at Darron's draft, it was truly historic. He actually had the 5th best draft of all time, and of course, that ended up paying off with a championship at the end. But what may be more surprising is some of the teams that actually made it into the playoffs despite having a bad or mediocre draft. Actually, if we look at teams like myself, Larry, and Duff, we actually finished 9, 10, and 11 respectively. Of course, Mason holding down the very bottom of those draft ranks. And yet, 3 of those 4 bottom teams still ended up making the playoffs, which begs the question, how did those teams end up making the playoffs? Well, for that, we have to take a look at some of our in-season transactions. If we look at teams like myself, some of it might have come down to downright luck, taking some big shots on some players that absolutely blew up, like the Minnesota defense in week 3, or Kenneth Gainwell in week 4, actually posing their best point totals of the season right after I picked them up. And of course, although it didn't matter, picking up JCM over Chris Rodriguez in the championship or 5th game place, in my part, definitely helped to boost that number. As for Duff and the Orlando Leons, he did all of his work post-draft, having a masterful season on the waiver wire, but also getting a huge boost in the trade departments. Taking a look at that controversial trade, we can now see that it was in fact quite lopsided, actually considered on one end to be the 4th biggest discrepancy of a trade value in league history. So maybe Sino wasn't too far off. Now, Duff, because of all of these moves, actually posted the 6th best manager season of all time based off of his trade and waiver wire values. Teams like Nico and Freddie also had some pretty decent trade value in their trades, and of course, Sino, due to some of his mismanagement, actually ended up trading away his opportunity for that championship. Taking a deeper look at that Sino trade, seems like trading away Devontae Adams did end up being the final nail in the coffin, which put him at the bottom of our trade value ranks for the season, and may have in fact cost him a championship this year, extending his championship drought to now 5 years. Seems like hindsight is truly 2020. And speaking of hindsight, we have one final gift for you guys as well. This year, our league legacy has expanded quite a bit, but we've got one final treat to finish the season. even though this is being recorded a little bit later. Full discrepancy, it's actually being recorded after the Rams won against Chicago in the divisional matchup. Even though this video is coming out a little bit late, we still want to take a look back at something very popular that comes around the end of the year, and that of course is our League Wrapped. Very similar to how Spotify does a Wrapped at the end of the year, League Legacy has matched that as well. So now you guys will actually get a chance to see from start to finish how our season progressed, not only throughout the entire league, but you can actually sort it individually, team by team. And yes, even though we focused very heavily on the main league in this section, TLB will also have a League Wrapped as well that you guys can take a look at. So again, remember how the season went from beginning to end. Consider this a belated Christmas gift, Hanukkah gift, whatever holiday you celebrate, and of course, Happy New Year, since we seem to miss that one as well. And while looking back at our history is always going to be fun, I think it's about time that we finally start looking ahead to next season. And for that, we're gonna go ahead and throw it over to, well, me, but recorded a little bit of time ago. So, Commish, take it away. What's up, guys? For the final time this year, I'm Commish, here to put a bow on our 2025 season. That's right, championship week is officially behind us, and again, congratulations to Darron in the main league and Joe in TLB on your championship victories. Congratulations, much deserved. But now that those games are over, the season's over as well, and no one is more sad than I. You guys know I pour my absolute heart and soul into this league, and so seeing it end is definitely gonna hurt me more than it's gonna hurt you. But thankfully, looking ahead to next year doesn't have to wait too long. You've probably already seen, if you're active in our Discord, we're already looking ahead to the off-season, specifically our off-season survey. So at the end of every year, we look back at things that we can do better in this league, things we can change, and things we can improve. And of course, this place is a democracy at its heart, so we want you guys to have a say in some of those changes as well. Now, starting between now and the Super Bowl, you guys will have an opportunity to propose any specific rule changes or things that you want to see happen in our league. And we're going to be posting that in the specific off-season survey Discord channel. Now, if your proposal hits that certain threshold of agreement from other league members, it's going to automatically be added to our off-season survey. However, if there are any of the things that don't meet that threshold, I'm still going to use my discretion to see whether it's worth putting it up to a vote with the rest of the league. Now is your chance to submit those changes. I don't want to hear any complaints that you didn't get an opportunity. Speak now or forever hold your peace. That's going to be happening again between now and the Super Bowl. Shortly after the Super Bowl is when we're going to officially drop that off-season survey. And not only is that important to gather any of the changes and give you guys a chance to vote on it, but it's also going to serve as our commitment check for both TLFL and TLB for next season. So you definitely want to make sure that you are looking out for that and participating in that survey, or else you might get left behind as we are moving forward. Now, with this episode serving as our season finale, it's also going to be the official start of my vacation as commissioner. And a vacation well-deserved. Even though I do love this game, it has been a long and grueling 5 months of me consistently posting these videos, keeping you guys up to date with what's going on, and of course, playing fantasy football myself. But just because I'm going on vacation doesn't mean this is the last you'll hear from me. Now, following my short break, I'm going to be right back at it again in the off-season, taking a look at those survey results, making all of the changes for both of our leagues. So you want to make sure that you are staying up to date in the Discord, staying in contact with our group members, and staying on the lookout for Alex to complete his Waffle House challenge. That is must-see TLTV. And of course, be on the lookout again for that off-season survey. So many things that are going to be coming. Just because I'm taking a break doesn't mean I'm going to be quiet in any way, shape, or form. So if there's one thing I can ask you guys to do, turn on those Discord notifications. We want you guys to be a part of this community as well, and we are so proud of what we have built over these last 17 years. It has been an absolute honor to serve as your commissioner for this long and see the humble beginnings that we started with just a small group of friends in a neighborhood playing fantasy football. And 17 years later, we've really grown this into a thriving community, and we really want you guys to be a part of that all year round. So keep up to date in our Discord. Make sure you look out for that off-season survey, and of course, bring your A game for next year. And that's going to pretty much do it for me. We're going to go ahead and toss it back to Chief one last time to wrap up the year. Chief, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Chris. And that concludes the 2025 Tower Lakes fantasy football season. Congrats to our winner, Darron. And fuck all y'all. I got 4 of them.
We moving up.
Yeah, that's cool.
We moving the chains, we changing the game, you know that we moving the chains with Chief. Just stay in your lane, so nothing the same. We steady be moving the chains with Chief. Go for the range, just doing my thing, you know that we moving the chains with Chief. We moving the chains with Chief. Talking my shit at the end of the week. We moving the chains, we changing the game, you know that we moving the chains with Chief. Just stay in your lane, so nothing the same. We steady be moving the chains with Chief. Go for the range, just doing my thing, you know that we moving the chains with Chief. We moving the chains with Chief. Talking my shit at the end of the week, yeah.